Touch grass. A famous quote that has been passed down for generations. While dramatic, does it mean anything? Does it hold up? I don't know, man. We're gonna see how fast we can touch grass in every Pokemon mainline game. Completing this challenge will definitely change your perspective on what it means to be a real Pokemon player. The first Pokemon game is Pokemon Red. This game came out almost 30 years ago and is really old. Definitely didn't age the best, but it has that flavor of nostalgia. Anytime coming back to it, just remembers that you were a kid at some point. Easily one of the more games that doesn't really handhold you as much as the modern Pokemon games. This game is fairly simple when it comes to touching grass, as the first objective of this game is to touch grass. That's one done. Beautiful old Pokemon Silver, man. Bringing it back to the year 2000. The second generation, like the previous generation, is relatively early on actually acquiring to touch the grass. But man, look at it! Look at the barrel. It's so adorable, dude. I'm not gonna lie to you, one of my all-time favorite mons, they snapped when they made this goat. Even the main character looks really good. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm a big fan of Red, but dude, Gold? Yo, he's kind of that guy.
That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
The room is relatively empty, and you go downstairs and you wonder yet again, where does your mother sleep? Surely it can't be this table. It doesn't look comfortable. But yeah, as you can see, she has nowhere to sleep. I worry for her. Mom, where's Dad? Not a big fan on Elm though. He's just kind of here. I mean, he's the professor. He exists. He kind of does what he needs to do, but at the same time as well too, I don't know, man. I'm just not really feeling him, man. But he's got a wife. He's married. He's had a great life. We're gonna pick the best starter though. Totodile, have to pick him. He's the literal GOAT. He's gonna help us so much on actually completing his journey. Now that we're finally free, we can actually play the game. We can see how fast we can touch grass. We go over here, here's the grass, and boom, we have touched grass. Pokemon Emerald, man. You can't go wrong with this game. This truly was an era that we did not deserve. Man, dude, Pokemon was just so good when they were doing this, bro. Gen 3, man, I'm sorry, man. I'm chilling out, man. Gen 3 was just so good. Emerald is so good, man. It has its problems, it has its flaws for sure, man, but I mean, what game doesn't, man? But just ripe, clean, simple. Both MCs look absolutely fire. Everybody was clickbait on Brendan. That's not his hair. That's a hat. Can't forget the load tab, man. Look at him. Look at the load tab. You love the Pokemon they do in the beginning. They're usually good. Usually. And then this game's a little weird because here you are as a 10-year-old boy or girl in the back of a moving truck. There are 2 seats in the front of the truck. I'm actually astonished why we're back here. And our father apparently already was here. He's just not here with us. So who drove? The mom's in there. Who drove? Wait, who drove? I'm also not gonna consider this grass. While we are here, it's just, you know, you get it now. You get it. Bro, the Pokemon world is crazy. Vigoroth moving? That's actually free labor. That's actually insane. Bro, even our dad was hella famous, dude. On the telly? Yo, Pa, he was going wild. Love that for Norman. Love that for him. Gotta love forced relationships here. Yeah, everyone knows when they were a kid, everyone's parents try to get them to be friends with the other kids in the block, man. It was not it, bro. It was not it. And then here she is, leaving a whole ass Pokeball in the middle of the room. Here she go. At last, we can actually finally see. Again, this is not considered grass, so we're gonna move. There's a grass patch up there, and we're gonna see, can we actually touch this grass efficiently and in a timely manner? We're gonna see right now, you're blocked. You are blocked. So you actually have to choose your starter Pokemon first before you can actually touch this grass. And we're gonna pick the absolute best Gen 3 starter. There's none that compare to the GOAT himself. That is Mudkip. Look at him, man. I mean, Game Freak, come on. Can we get another Mudkip? Mudkip 2, Mudkip 3, Mudkip is really just him. Type 1 in the comment section for Mudkip being really him. Still can't touch the grass. Now we gotta go all the way back to the lab. Now after Birch has now finally told us everything that we need to do, we can go see in a timely manner how fast we can touch grass, and would you look at that? Boom, we have touched grass. The Generation 4 games are really interesting because these games are really, really slow. Everything about them is really slow, super controversial, but at the same time as well too extremely impactful. It absolutely looks beautiful. I think this still clears BDSP. That game ruined my life, but at the same time as well too, these games, man, they brought Wi-Fi on the table. Man. And then of course you have this really obnoxious tutorial, but like I said again, every early beginning mon they show with the professor is absolutely adorable. Munchlax, are you kidding? Look at him, he's chilling, he's the GOAT, he's awesome, man. This guy's the professor too. I mean, I feel like Rowan's pretty forgettable, right? Like nobody really cares about Rowan, right? But the MCs, they're so drippy. I'm not gonna lie to you, their platinum fits are way better, but man, I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you, I kind of just went between either or, but you know, not really a bad decision when it comes to these two, but they just, man, Platinum really just upgraded with it. I thought it was a really cool touch as well too, where there's a rumor of a red Gyarados and all that stuff, but there isn't a red Gyarados at all. But I thought it was really cool to introduce a game like this. It's really awesome. But these games are really slow. This is without speed up at all. The text is extremely slow. Even when I boost it up to max, it's still kind of slow. So these games, Game Freak are really just in their bag trying, you know, and I respect that for them, where you have to go into your rival's house. So we're gonna do that, but no, I lied. He comes out to us. So Barry's cool for that. I'm not gonna lie to you. He's got a lot of personality, and I like that for him. But again, like the previous games, I don't consider this grass. While it is technically grass, I don't want to perceive it as grass. We're mainly doing grass patches, so that should kind of just bring that in all together. All right, now that Barry's done with that, we can actually continue on our journey, and we're tag teaming here. We are tag teaming here with Barry, so it's a 2 people to see how fast 2 people can touch grass. We have 4 feet, so surely this shouldn't be that bad, right? But we're gonna go ahead and make our journey onto Verity Lakefront, going into Lake Verity. This is exactly where the tutorial starts for this game, where you catch your starters. It's a little different in Platinum, but there's a grass patch right there. Funny enough though, I think there's a cutscene where you actually just forcibly walk into the grass, and I mean, that's honestly pretty fast if you ask me. But overall, the game is slow though, so in comparison to other games, it is relatively slower. As Barry warns us not to actually go into tall grass, we've officially walked into tall grass. While it is technically a cutscene in this game, we have walked in and it will be counted. The games that truly people believe is one of the best Pokemon games of all time, Pokemon Platinum, man. The GOAT, the GOAT. This is what BDSP should have been, man. Slightly different this time, though. They're not really talking about the Red Gyarados incident. Relatively same bedroom, but this time Barry actually walks into our house. And Barry's actually raiding our PC. Little bro, I need you to chill, little bro. Chill out, little bro. Chill. This time, though, as well, too, our mom actually warns us to not go to tall grass, unlike Barry, who tells us that, and it's very concerning. I like that. The mom cares. We love that. And you can actually see snow on the ground. So it's definitely a really nice touch in comparison to Diamond and Pearl, but this one is different because you can actually find a starter Pokemon as early as right up here, except we still have to go into Barry's house. Barry's room got a massive upgrade though. It looks a lot better in this game. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I will say though, we actually can't walk out of tall grass at this very moment. We are stopped pretty soon here with Rowan and Dawn, so we actually can't do that, but this guy's crazy. He still tried it though. This guy's actually insane. Everyone in this game has warned us to not walk into tall grass, and it's funny because it's ironic because we actually are trying to touch tall grass in all of these games. So come on, Rowan, whose team are you really on, bro? Help me help you, help me, man. Rowan actually speedran and did it before we could, so that's actually ridiculous. Hopefully we can here pretty soon because that cutscene was hilariously long, man. He was going on and on and on and on. It was absolutely insane. But no, we have to leave again because now we have to go to the lab. But F all that because you can actually touch grass right here. The game of games, Gen 5, man. Pokemon Black and White, man. Gen 5, man. I could say a million things about these games, bro. Gen 5 was really it, bro. First female professor, man. Revolutionary games. Just stop, man. Don't even get me started, bro. I could actually write a monologue about these games, man. And if we see this mod, first one is adorable or not, it low-key is. Low-key. Low-key, though. The boxes look incredible. As you can see here, I actually, for the first time, never really chose a fire starter, and this time will. We're gonna choose Tepic. There are a few cutscenes that are gonna be coming up that are gonna be preventing us from actually touching grass as fast as we want to. There's a catching tutorial. There's the actual both rivals saying let's make our first steps together. Here's a shonen cutscene here. It's very wholesome. I like this because we all take the first steps together. 1, 2, huck, pluck, pluck. Catching tutorial, of course. We're witnessing a walking abomination that is Patrat. After all of this, we are now able and stable to touch grass as soon as we want to, right after when this cutscene finishes. So thank you, Juniper, for teaching us how to catch mons, because now we can complete our challenge here in this video of actually touching grass. And we're in. The next Pokemon game, Pokemon Black 2, White 2, is absolute peak sauce, man. These games really did it all, bro. And I honestly believe they are still very underrated. Still the same professor as Pokemon Black and White. It's one of the few Pokemon games that actually did get a sequel. So I like that because I think the only other games that did that was like Gold and Silver. We're not gonna do a name at all. We're just gonna do A because I kind of don't have the interest to give myself a quirky and creative name. But the rival though, the rival was Flames. That's a straight Hugh. He was Flames. Flames theme, flames design. He was flames, guys. He was absolutely flames. This game also has seasons as well too, and now we have the winter season, which is personally my favorite. Yeah, the winter is beautiful though. The snowflakes just over the entire town, just enveloping it. This is beautiful. This is a real game. This is a real Pokemon game. Even like, look at the little touch of detail. She saw the snowflakes fall on the floor. That's nice. That's nice, man. Like, and now they're talking directly to you, dude. I don't know, man. We don't really see this anymore, dude. Like, it really did that. It really was that game. We're now stopped again by Hugh and his little sister, who you might not think means a lot, but actually is the entire like scope compass of Hugh's morale. Out comes a typical rival battle. And here he is. Look at the sauce, man. All right, after Bianca has now done that, all of that is out of the way. We can actually now complete our challenge of touching grass. Ah, man, can you smell that nostalgia? Pokemon X and Y, the first 3D Pokemon games. Beautiful, just beautiful. You guys don't understand. I love these games. I do. While these games are awful and they have many problems and they are a big, just giant empty mess that we know as Pokemon Universe as real life France, and the main characters, love them both so much. Easily the best main characters in a Pokemon series. I said it. And this guy, he literally looked like me. I love it, man. I love it. Dude, the fit hard. I love it, man. I love it. They get a lot of flack, but they're mine. All right. I love them. I love them, man. This game does have a lot of Force tutorials, like I said as well, too. Similar to previous games I mentioned before, where they're not really tutorials per se, more along Force objectives you have to do, like we can't leave until we change, which is a recurring feature that I've noticed in the recent Pokemon games. The Nintendo Wii U, which, you know, flopped, but hey, to each their own, right? It was 2016, it was in the prime of its youth. 2014, 2013, I can't math. Here's our mom, she's gorgeous. All right, we're not forced to actually now wake up these Rhyhorns, but look at that, our neighbors are here. You love to see that. This game is the epitome of friendship. After all of this, Tierno picks out a starter. Trigger warning, they're randomized. And we're gonna go ahead and actually lock ourselves in for the Spiritomb. The game being randomized doesn't necessarily change anything from the objective goal, that is how fast we can actually touch grass, so I'm gonna keep it that way. After we get our starter, we do have again the typical Force rival battle, but since all of them on the table are a rival, it doesn't really matter which one, and I guess Game Freak like Shauna, so they chose Shauna because she builds probably the most relationship personality-based friendship with you in comparison to the other ones. We're about to get hyped up from our mom here, being the kid in the neighborhood kid watch, being the best trainer of the group, which, spoilers, we actually are. The only one that can stand to us is Serena, and she's fire too, but we're just better than all of them. We can now actually complete our objective. The fun fact is as well too, is this is one of the few games we actually could not buy balls in the beginning, so you have to wait for a bit. We get the warning as well too. My man even knows the objective of this video. We're actually going for real grass here. And there it is. So how fast can you touch grass at X and Y? Moderate pace. The beautiful remakes that we know and love for the Generation 3 Pokemon games, Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, Omega Ruby, and Alpha Sapphire, are beautiful games. I cannot stress that enough. Solid remakes and definitely enjoy them. Great new features, and honestly, it's a great game. We are still definitely going to see, though, how fast you can touch grass in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. I will say it is a really nice touch that these games did have the original intro of the original Pokemon games in the remake. This was very nice. I can't find anyone that disagreed with this. From the sprite work to everything, to then the cameo pulling out here of the camera for the updated graphics for it and everything. Behind the truck, dude, this was a great touch, and you actually get to see the truck moving as well too. God knows where we came from, but we're out of here, man. We're packed up. But these are beautiful games. There's a lot of grass and vegetation in these games, so you would think this is relatively easy. But like Heart Gold and Soul Silver, these games aren't relatively too different from the original. You still touch grass in the typical same format. We actually can get back to our initial challenge of seeing how fast we can touch this grass, and it's the exact same as the original ones. You can kind of just walk in. If you know me well, you know me proud. You know I am the biggest Generation 7 stan known to man. Kukui brada. Hello. I love Alola region. I love Kukui. I love the Sun and Moon games. I love the decks. I love the region. It's just basically going to be a 15-minute Sun and Moon programming ad, and Game Freak is not paying me a dime. I am a shill for Sun and Moon, dude. Everything from the whole like FaceTime thing, just everything. It feels like there's so much life, dude. I love it, man. The music, the culture. Everything is just gorgeous, man. Cousin! I love that. It's great. I'm sorry. I'm oozing out. Let's get back to the goal here. How fast can we touch this grass? Let's get back to the goal, guys. Here we have, though, our beautiful mom, the Meowth. We've moved from Kanto. You love to see it, man. Everything about it. Mwah, mwah. You love it. We have the POV of the Meowth actually walking into a room. Scary! That Ditto just... Oh, nah, man. Bag secured. I don't know what this fit is. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Watermelon purse. She got the little tie-on shirt, the chicken hat. I am not. What is this fit? I don't know what it is, but it's hilarious and I love it. Like, look at it. It's just so funny. I don't know why it exists. I don't know who at Game Freak greenlit it. We're gonna cut through here, get to where the starters are at, and I think maybe we can touch the grass before we can actually... No, we cannot. That's Order Sun and Moon. I lied. Now, this is paying homage to the ones know from the Spearow attack on the Pikachu. All right? Love to see it. Love to see it. Though if Spearows are really in Hawaii, I'd be a little pissed. I hate Spearow. He's ugly. He should die. The goat has finally arrived. Hala, brada. Hello, brada. The goat has finally arrived and he's pulled up. Essentially, Islander Watson has shown up to the battlefield. We are now getting to actually see the starter Pokemon and we can choose between them. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, this is the very first time I've ever chosen a fire starter Pokemon ever. Well, I like all three of them, right? Rowlet is cute, Litten is cute, Poplio, I'm gonna say it, he's cute. I was a Litten fan boy. I get it. Right? I get it. Rowlet was a popular one, but I loved Litten. Everyone's concerned. Yo, we're not gonna fail, guys. All right? Spoiler warning, we passed. He chose us, and now we're besties. Pick him up. Let's go. Hopefully he doesn't puke, because cats always puke because they eat way too fast. After all of that nonsense, after all of the cutscenes, and after all of the long drawn out stuff that they kind of force you and tell you to do, which I get it, but I didn't really mind it per se. And after all of that, guys, we have now officially touched grass. So we're gonna go through this rodeo again now with the Sun and Moon Enhanced version, which is Order Sun Ultra Moon. But do not fret, it's a lot shorter in this game. So these games are a lot actually simple now compared to the previous ones. You can touch grass in these games with ease. On to the next Pokemon games, Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. These games, honestly, little underrated. They looked graphically great and everything about them was fantastic. And these games aren't really too different from the original Fire and Leaf Green and the Red and Blue games, but it is a yellow remake, so it does have some slight different tidbits. These games, I really believe, are the best looking Pokemon games, even still to this date. So to see games this beautiful not come back again really does make me feel so upset. I hopefully believe that maybe they make the next remakes look exactly like this because, man, it looks great. Since this is a yellow remake, it's not too different from yellow, but it is slightly different because you can't touch grass as fast in this game versus yellow in the previous Game Boy Color games. There's a lot of blockage, and obviously with the more new cutscenes, it's going to be a little longer than the original Game Boy Color games. The grass is right there though, please! We get stopped by our Eevee, who is obviously, of course, the starter Pokemon of this game. God, you can taste victory right then and there. It's so close, Oak, please! After we get to the lab, Oak gives us our brand new starter Pokemon, which is going to be Eevee in this game, and it's honestly really cute. Look at it, it's such a friend. I love Eevee. Hi. After all the cutscenes and that mumbo jumbo stuff, we can finally touch grass. All right, on to the next games. We're gonna be doing Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield. These games are also quite revolutionary. I feel like I say them about every game, but these games, we went to the United Kingdom. First time, and honestly, I'm hoping it's the last. These games have a lot of cutscenes, but you can go to the Stumbling Weald pretty fast, so that should be the spot we're looking forward to on trying to hit grass as soon as possible. If you haven't noticed by now, that trainer right there is subscribed to this channel. So if you're not subscribed yet and want to touch more grass like us, I suggest you do so right now. Hop's brother Leon is supposedly the champion as well too in this generation, which I thought was a really cool touch. Unfortunately, it's Ace's Charizard, something we've seen a million times, so I hope this never happens again. Cool champion though. There seems to be a lot of commotion going on here in Stumbling Weald, the next new place we have to move on to in Pokemon Sword, and as you can see, there's a massive grass patch here. After this cutscene, the game will hopefully allow us to be able to touch grass as soon as your next door neighbor's house, your backyard, right then and there. Moving forward, we are actually able to touch grass. On to the next Pokemon games, Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Easily the most controversial games we've gotten in a long time. Massive flop. but it was extremely successful. So does it really matter if you think this game is awful when it was received very well financially, at least, right? But sales do not mean that the game is a good quality game, so I would love to know what you guys think down below. Just like the original games, you can find Rowan and whichever character you choose with the opposite gender right in the grass where eventually we can go to, and honestly, it's an exact one-to-one copy of the previous games. Doesn't look better though, but it essentially runs like them. Funny enough, these are games where they tell you not to go into tall grass, and we go in them anyway, so we have now technically touched grass. And now finally on to the best Pokemon game, Legends Arceus. A lot of grass, so this one shouldn't really be that hard, right? Man, this game really feels like an isekai. Your phone is taken away, you see God, and you're sent to another world? Technically speaking, the main timeline, but in the past? Man, this is really an isekai type beat. Here we meet Professor Laventon after falling from our isekai/new world, and the 3 starter Pokemon are pretty old, but they do have new evolutions, which makes the game a lot more breathtaking than you would think. Now, since this isn't technically grass, while it's not tall grass you can encounter encounters, we're not really gonna count this. This game is very interesting because you actually catch Pokemon in a completely different way, and I enjoyed this so much because we may never get a game like this ever again. I always thought it was really nice that you get a really old Japanese look for the Sinnoh region, which has always been beautiful, and I'm a sucker for that. Love the culture and the heritage. This game is honestly just way ahead of its time, man. Game Freak, do another one, please. I'm not gonna lie, the years have not been good to Wally, bro. Alright, we could finally pick our starter Pokemon after all of those cutscenes and the massive talks. I didn't realize how long this game was in the beginning. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's been a minute. But we have to pick best boy himself, Cyndaquil. Alright, and after all of that, we can now successfully touch grass. Alright, moving on to Scarlet and Violet, the absolute very last Pokemon game. This game is phenomenal, and I very much enjoyed it myself as well too, as a lot of things of it were just really good. Outside of the bugs, of course, but it was an enjoyable game to play. Smell that fresh air, man, because in a little bit, we're gonna be smelling that fresh grass very soon. W for grass. The moms get better in every game, man. This mom took my breath away. Sheesh. The professor of the region finally showed us the brand new starter Pokemon, and I'm not gonna lie to you, even still to this day, they hit. Amazing. All 3 of them. They just did not miss. Sprig, Fuecoco, and Quaxley. I'm sorry, I just genuinely love all 3 of them. These are peak starters. After all those cutscenes, Professor Clavel asked us to walk all the way to his house to pick a starter that is basically walking already with us. A weird decision, but sure, we'll go with it. And like the previous games, this grass is technically not grass. I know there's so much semantics on what is and isn't grass. Just go along with it, okay? You get it by now. Now that we finally arrived to the lab, we have the massive decision that you get in every Pokemon game where you have to decide which of the 3 amazing starters you have to pick. Now that we've finally gotten our starter Pokemon, we have to go through the usual and typical route of battling our rival out in this, again, gorgeous scenery. It is way too bougie for this match. After our mother wishes us well, and Nimona is now going to teach us how to catch Pokemon, there's a lot of grass patches here to where you can just sort of just dive in. Now, wouldn't it be awesome if in one of these cutscenes one day you can find shiny Pokemon in the scenes? That would be amazing. Gen 10 prayers. Alright guys, now that we actually finished everything in the game, you can officially touch grass. And that's it, guys. That's how fast you can touch grass in each and every single Pokemon game, main title at least. And I'm not gonna lie to you, some of them really just kind of blew me away. I'm a little deranged and a little insane for not actually actively going to touch grass. Instead, I'm playing Pokemon and touching grass. So it's a little weird, a little concerning, and it's a little cry for help. Please help. Arceus genuinely blew me away. Completely forgot how long that game is. But yeah, I'm gonna go actually touch grass now. Trying to see dick, bro. What?